Hey sis, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm listening.
Good. All right, so we're going into the Christ letters. It's after 11, and we'll see how far it takes us. We'll see how far. I don't have to get up early tomorrow. I can relax. So we'll see where this energy takes us tonight. And you're gonna hear similar things in the Christ letters that we just heard in the video. I'm telling you, this Christ letters or these Christ letters, nothing compare. If you want to know self, if you want to understand the universe, if you want to understand the Bible, you want to understand, read these Christ letters. Read these letters. Read these letters. Okay. So we're going to start with letter 6. We're starting with letter 6 tonight. Says, and I have come to you again to speak of the true nature of existence. The truth of being is this: you who believe only in the material world live entirely in the earthly, finite world. You live within a dimension of the manifestation of your beliefs. That is the truth. If you only believe that this world is it and there's nothing else exists outside this world, you live within the dimension of your manifestation of beliefs. This is your belief, and this is where you're living. That this is the only and I hope no one out there thinks like that. This is that earth is the only finite place. There's nowhere else. There can't be anywhere else. And when you die, you just die, and this is it. That's You're just living in the dimension of your manifestation beliefs. Okay, and if you find my channel, no one should be thinking like that anymore. Those whose spiritual perception, those whose spiritual perception and lives has been raised in frequencies of vibrations to merge with the spiritual frequencies of vibration of the spiritual dimension can perceive that they live in two dimensions. They are fully aware of this truth, and they live according to the truth and evolve into ever frequencies of and evolve into ever higher frequencies of being. So this is saying basically that those who come to the knowledge that there's not only this physical dimension, there's another dimension, um, a spiritual dimension where that's where that's who we truly are. That's where our higher selves are. That's where things happen. That's where the manifestation um, is. There, it's like living in two dimensions. We're living in this earthly dimension, but we know really there's also a spiritual dimension. We don't think this is it. We don't think this world is it, and there's nothing outside of it. But if you do think that, I'm telling you, 2025 is going to be different. We're going to see some things that's going to change your mind, that we've been bamboozled, we've been in the dark for a while, and everything in Revelation, everything we read in the Bible is coming to fruition, not as vivid and literal as we see it in as some of us interpret it in the Bible. But these things are going to happen because um, Bible tell you, you rob the poor, you do these people that we give our power, we give our authority for them to keep us oppressed, and people are waking up. So when people wakes up, the energy on the planet rises, and that's a different kettle of fish. The things that they used to do, they can't do it anymore. The lies that's been told, the deception that's been told, all those things is coming to an end. And this is what the Bible called the end of time, the end of days, the end of days. This is it. It's nothing. That's why, like how we interpret it in the Bible. Okay. So those whose spiritual perception and lives have been raised in frequencies of vibrations to merge with the spiritual frequencies of vibration of the spiritual dimension, You have a physical reality, you have a spiritual dimension, can perceive that they live in two dimensions. They are fully aware of this truth, and they live according to this truth and evolve into ever higher frequencies of being. They are no longer bound by human belief, but live within the realization that they live within the infinity in which are no limitations. The higher their vibrational frequencies of consciousness, the more aware they are that they live within infinity, and that only they themselves set the limits on what they can aspire to. Okay, so this is what is meant by when someone says raise your consciousness, raise your vibrational frequencies. This is what they mean, that you will live in two dimensions. You're not bound by the human belief that Earth is the only dimension. This is it, and there's no other way. There's no other dimension, there's no other planet. Earth is it. There's no spiritual dimension. So the higher their vibrational frequencies of consciousness, the more they are aware, the more aware they are that they live within infinity, and that only they themselves set the limits on what they can aspire to. We live in infinity. Can you believe that? Can you believe there's a reality beyond this one? If you believe in this reality, that's what you're going to manifest. That's why the lack, that's why the sickness. If you believe in this, only in this physical reality, that means you're not raising your consciousness, vibrational energy. Those whose perceptions have been heightened in this way while still in their bodies have seen that there is only one dimension of actual individual being, and this dimension is divine consciousness activity. Okay. So those whose perception has been heightened. So as for me, when I perceive things that I learn in this reality, like say if my arm hurt me, maybe there's something wrong with my arm. If my head hurts, maybe there's something wrong with my head. I try to be aware of that thought, because remember, our thoughts create our reality. Mm-hmm. So when that thought comes, I said, no, I'm an infinite being. We're not perceiving anymore that when my arm hurts, it's something wrong. I am healed. I am well. I'm not letting that thought goes off anymore,
Right.
you know? So my perception as increased to the fact that I am a divine being, we're infinity being. And that wherever my thoughts, wherever my perception is, that's my reality. Okay. So that's one more thing we have to be mindful of. So you have a lot of people I know they're showing up on my YouTube timeline a lot. There's a lot of people who knows this fact. The people are knowledge of the fact that we're not what we were taught in this world. We're not just flesh. We do not die. We're energy beings. We are our own universe. We have to be conscious of who we are. That's why everyone's saying raise your consciousness vibrational energy. Be knowledgeable of who you are.
But some people can't define the soul and the body. Most people think they just body and not soul.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's two of us. It's two of me. It's the body and the I am, the
yeah,
soul, the mind.
yeah, two in one. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why we believe that we're this body. Why
Because
do we go
that's
ahead?
what we were taught.
Yeah, but some people, it doesn't matter. They just keep believing, oh, this is it. We're so we don't spend time to understand who we are. When you look into it, you have to believe that there's something bigger than you.
Mm.
You have to believe that. And it's not Jesus either. It's you. There's a lot of things that we've been taught that we have to wake up. We do. We do. And you still have the institutions that are key that continue to what you call it, teach those things. But the time we're in the end of days, and as my sister say, you have to wake up that you're not just body, you have a soul. And they talk about the soul too, sis. They talk about it.
Hmm.
Yeah, but they just don't can't wrap their mind around it. Mm. Okay. Those whose perception have been heightened in this way, while still in their bodies, have seen that there is only one dimension of actual individual being, and this dimension is divine consciousness activity. They may also come to fully realize there is the further dimension of universal consciousness in which the universal resides in perfect equilibrium and may be penetrated by none, because within this divine dimension, any individuality would be immediately drawn into the unity of being. So, this is talking about the universal dimension where electricity and magnetism lays in equilibrium. Anything gets to this dimension will just You don't die, but you just dissolve probably, but you're still there. So this is what it's talking about, the different dimensions. Says they may also fully realize that there is further dimension of universal consciousness in which the universal resides in perfect equilibrium and may be penetrated by none, because within this dimension, any individuality, no individuality can go there, would be immediately drawn into the unity of being. You go back to your creator, you go back to your who you are, where you started. That's where everything started. That's where the Big Bang took place. My Father, Mother, God, electricity and magnetism was in equilibrium, and they just erupted, and from this chaos, or what they call the Big Bang came creation. And Christ says it wasn't any Big Bang, it was just a little poof. When a soul reaches in understanding and realization the topmost level of the frequencies of vibration of consciousness, Christ consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
Christ consciousness.
Yeah.
This is the return of Christ,
Mm-hmm. The anointed one.
the anointed
The
one.
anointed one.
Yeah, Christ consciousness. Yeah, let's read that again. That's the return. That's the return of Christ in you, the Christ in you, the hope of salvation. Christ in you. So when a soul reaches in understanding and realization, that is the topmost level of the frequencies of vibration of consciousness. That's where Christ was. That's where he came from. Vibrations of consciousness. And that's called the Christ consciousness. That's the utmost, the topmost level of frequency of consciousness, vibration of consciousness. That's called the Christ consciousness. The soul can look down and review the levels of vibrations ascending and descending to those of humanity on earth and know with love and compassion humanity is trapped in the lower vibration of divine consciousness hidden within the ego drive, wholly unaware of the truth of being, the soul's true identity, and the earthly truth of the ego. So it's telling us that when you're ascended up here, when you get to Christ consciousness, the soul can look down and review the levels of vibration descending to those of humanity on earth and know with love, no criticism, and compassion. Humanity is trapped in lower vibrations of divine consciousness. And that is because you don't understand who you are. We're looking right now at society that is trapped in their low vibrational consciousness. You think this is it, this body is you. This body is not really you. It's you, but it's not really who you are. It's just a suit for this earthly experience, and you leave the suit and who you truly are ascend. We can't, because of our eyes, we can't see the different souls ascending. I think I saw someone use something to capture the soul leaving the body before. That's who we truly are, the aspect of us that's divine, that's infinite. So if you're trapped in your lower consciousness, you have to raise your vibrational energy. You have to raise your energy. So from that Christ consciousness level, with love and compassion, realize that humanity is trapped in lower divine consciousness, hidden within the ego drive, wholly unaware of the truth of being,
Mhm.
the soul's true identity, and the earthly truth of the ego. Hmm? The soul's true identity. Hmm? Wholly unaware of the truth of being. I hope if this message find you, you're not anymore ignorant of who you are. The source of your being, your soul. That's the truth. The soul's true identity. That's the truth of being. And the earthly truth of the ego. Neither does it have the slightest awareness of the immense purpose behind its existence and the eventual mission it must embark upon. I was thinking the other day, how many of us is gonna embark, is gonna be like, oh my gosh, or is it no one else is gonna come to the knowledge of who they are? Anyone else is coming? Anyone else is gonna wake up to the this is your sole purpose. You have to come to the knowledge of self. You have to become conscious. You have to become conscious. Hmm? So you're trapped in the earthly truth of your ego that you know that's it. That's all exists. That's all that exists. Neither does it have the slightest awareness of the immense purpose behind its existence. Can we look at someone says, you know, that you're infinite beings, you're an infinite being? Hmm? And the path and the eventual mission it must embark upon. Because everyone has to come to this knowledge, whether now or later. The task of the newborn soul is to experience through means of its sheath, the psyche. Okay. The task of the newborn soul is to experience through means of its sheath, the psyche, all that these lower frequencies have to offer and grow as a result of the mental, emotional events and experiences arising out of their thoughts and feeling. The soul must learn through trial and error the state of consciousness which makes it immensely happy or burdened with grief and sorrow, which initiate various physical limitations. So it says the task, our true task, is to experience through the means of its sheath, the psyche, the mind. And I was looking up psyche today, and not just the mind. Um, I think it says spirit, breath too. You know, but what it's saying, um, the reason why we're here, our soul experience, is through the means of the mind. Um, we came here to experience these lower frequencies, and we came here to grow as a result of the mental emotional events, of grow from the things that we've been through. But these things that we've been through, um, we've used them as our identity. We are so attached to these things that we've been through on this earth. We're so attached to them. We can It's so hard, and it's very hard to tell someone that whatever they've been through, listen, it's not really you. Your soul, or who you are, didn't go through the struggle. You know, it is so hard to say that to someone, and but that's the honest truth. Who you are have is still pristine, is still divine, is still infinite. And if you and and it's still hard even to say, for me to say this, that all our struggles is a learning lesson. What have we learned from our struggles, our pain and struggles? What have we learned? This is just showing you why we're on earth, why we descend in frequency to have this experience on earth. This is what this is saying. Because the soul is not touched. It's just our ego that's bruised. I know, I know, I know. Because if I didn't come into this consciousness, I wouldn't want to hear this. I know we all been through it. We all been through it. And the Bible says he's not going to give us more than we can bear. And even to go deeper, we probably choose these things that we've been through. Yeah, that's another one, hard one to believe. Because what I've been through, I can't believe I chose it. But now I come to this knowledge and be like, yes, I can see how I choose it to wake me up, to allow me to come into the knowledge of self, to allow me to come into the knowledge that the goal is Christ consciousness, that I am my own universe. I am a divine being. I'm an infinite being. And now I know church didn't tell us this, and this is so hard for those of us who come to this knowledge and trying to wake others up. Um, that what your struggles, that the end of 2024 find you. And whatever you're going through, 2024 find you. Only you knows. And you're probably going through it year after year after year. And I just want to tell you that um, who you really are, at the core of who you are, is a divine soul. The things that happen into your life is for you to come into the knowledge that you're a divine being. I know we came into this earth, and they tell us our mother should protect us, our father should protect us. There's certain people that should protect us and let us down, and we feel so let down and neglected and dejected. And this is just coming from perception and the things they taught us that they know it's not true. Because they give us these parents who themselves never know love, who themselves don't know how to be a parent. They tell us we should get married to men who doesn't even know how to, and women who have so much trauma, they don't even know how to love themselves, much less loving us. These are the things that we have to start questioning. When you hear me say, um, someone says the earth is a stage. It's really a stage. Don't get too overly into it. It really is a stage because we're acting out an aspect of us that we're not really these persona, the Mary, the James, the Barbara, the Cindy, the Matthew, the Mark. We're not those personas. That's not who we are. We are the I am. And that I am is still pristine. That I am is still all love. Never had a broken heart. Never have, never felt unloved. That's who we truly are. So if 2024 finds you just wake up like this, just thinking everyone has turned their back, listen, you have to go within. The work is within. Work on yourself, be selfish, and know that the Barbara or the Jane that went through all these struggles, sit down and say, what can I learn from these things? What can I learn from all that I've been through? I came across this lady and she's telling me that or my struggles are just experiences, because that's not who I really am. Ask the universe to show you who you are. Ask your higher self to show you who you are, to give you strength to come to this knowledge. Because we all have struggles, and that's a lot of people be like, oh God could have done this to babies and all that. Listen, babies aren't really babies. Babies, those are divine souls. They came here for a purpose. And just like when we're in the physical schools, the more we achieve, the more we move on to the next level. And Doris Cannon said, this is how Earth is. We're here for an experience with our soul directing, and we came here and we totally ignore our soul. We totally ignore the aspect of us that's guiding us through this earth. And the reason why we struggle, because we've been um, we've been programmed to think, this is me, I'm Jane Brown, and this is who I am, and I have to go to work, I have to have 3 children, I have to do this, I have to have a nice house, I have to have a nice car, I have to go to church, and this and that. Never never listening to the voice of your higher self. And even though you'd be like, oh, my mind told me I shouldn't have done that. I knew I shouldn't have done that. Where do you think that came from? Oh my gosh, my mind told me. Oh my gosh, I thought about you and you called me. Where do you think that came from? There's an aspect of you who's constantly trying to reach you. That's the aspect of you that you pray to. And that's the aspect of you that's been high, that's without unknowingly been answering your prayers. So don't identify with whatever you see in this world. This is what you'll achieve. Wherever you put your energy, where attention goes, energy flows. And that's what you manifest in your life. Think about everything from the aspect that you are a divine being, you're an infinite being. And the Jesus and the Christ, it's all you. It's all you, no one else. And see where that goes. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. This is why we're here having this experience. Okay? All right. The task of the new, okay, I read that already. Um The soul must learn through trial and error the state of consciousness which make it immensely happy or burdened with grief and sorrow, which initiate various physical limitations. Now let me highlight that because that's very important. Oh my gosh, all this fireworks. I can't believe it's not even midnight and they're doing all that fireworks. The purpose of life on earth is not to discover a means to experience undeviating joy and bliss, although this is what each soul longs for. Such bliss and joy would hinder the soul's progress into the higher spiritual vibrations of consciousness. So, yeah. So the purpose of us on earth, being on earth, is not just to experience joy and bliss. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Whom he loves, he chastens. Yeah. We're here to help our soul progress into higher spiritual vibration. We're here to grow. So when you experience these things that you're experiencing, just know, he that overcometh, what's the scripture says? He that overcometh something. Yeah, you're gonna ascend. You're gonna ascend into higher spiritual vibrations. You're gonna vibrate higher and have new experiences. Um, Not only here on earth too, and after earth, you're gonna have higher spiritual vibrations of consciousness. So remember, we're not just here to enjoy life. We're not just here to have joy and bliss. Joy and bliss doesn't show our strength. Joy and bliss does not help us to be more than overcomers. Let us overcome. Listen, you have the power within you to overcome anything you're going through in your life. You do have that power. Eventually, after many lifetimes of highs and lows, of comfort and sorrow, the psyche will wake up of the truth of its being and realize that it has within itself the potential to draw on divine consciousness for insight, understanding, and knowledge, and to raise its spiritual consciousness vibration to those of health, well-being, protection, inner growth, spiritual nutrition, and to radiate to others the nature of divine consciousness itself. And this is telling you that we have many lifetimes, many lifetimes. If you don't believe in reincarnation, we've probably been on this earth a lot of time. And that's what I thought too, that those who are raising their vibrational frequencies, I've learned it's just something in us that knows that we've been doing this for a while and we want to ascend. We're tired of incarnating in this world. We want to grow. And that's the nature of each soul. So don't think you're here just to party and just to have fun. You're here to overcome. You're here to struggle. You're here to have joy. You're here to have peace. You're here to radiate divine consciousness. All these experiences, the source of our being is experiencing these with us too, right here. There's no separation. No separation. So I'm going to read this paragraph again. Eventually, after many lifetimes of highs and lows, of comfort and sorrow, the psyche will wake up to the truth of its being and will realize that it has within itself the potential to draw on divine consciousness. Remember, you're going to wake up one day to the truth of your being, with that you have the potential to draw from this divine consciousness. That place called there, you can have heaven on earth. You can ask to help, as the Bible used to say, from the sanctuary. You can have help from the sanctuary while in this flesh. There's a divine connection. You have a connection to the divine realm, to the spiritual realm. You are not just this body on this earth waiting to die, to retire at 65 and sit there and ready to die. No, you're here to live. You're here to live. Understand who you are. So you can draw anything you don't understand. You hear, be like, I just saw this lady talking about divine consciousness, and you go into prayer, go into meditation, and you will get the answers. The universe, your higher self, the source will send it to you. So you can draw on divine consciousness for insight, understanding, and knowledge to raise its spiritual consciousness vibrations to those of health. You want health? And you receive this thing when you're vibrating at this frequency. If you're feeling health in your body, when you vibrate at the right frequency, then you will get health. Well, if you need money, you have to vibrate at those frequencies. It doesn't matter how much you kneel down and you pray, and you have to vibrate at those frequencies. You have to have knowledge of self. You have to know that there's an aspect of you that is divine. And even sometimes you don't have knowledge of self, but sometimes you pray and you just touch that realm, even for a little minute. And that's how some people are able to say, oh, Jesus gave me this, and Jesus gave me that, and this happened, and I was healed. They just touched that divine realm just at that moment. Their belief touched that spiritual realm, and receive their healing and receive many things. So yeah, so the knowledge and to raise its spiritual consciousness vibrations to those of health, well-being, protection, inner growth. That this is the nature of universal consciousness that we read in chapter 1. That is just the nature this is what came with us when we were born into this world. When we were born, health, well-being, protection, inner growth, spiritual nutrition, and to radiate to others. And to radiate to others, not just ourselves, the nature of divine consciousness itself. And I have said before, consciousness is life, and life is consciousness. Right? Let me put this big and bold. Life is consciousness. So you'll be like, oh, I hear this lady talking about consciousness. Consciousness is life, and life is consciousness. When there is life, there is consciousness. Where there is consciousness, there is life. Everything in existence is defined by vibrational frequencies of consciousness. Let me say that again. Everything in existence is defined by vibrational frequencies of consciousness. So matter is vibrating at a lower frequency, So that's why we're visible. Everything visible is vibrating at a lower frequency. And remember, it's only one source. And there's different, everything's vibrating on that one pole. That pole is like the source, what you call God, what you call Jehovah, Yahweh, whatever. Source, the all. That's just that one thing where we all coming from. But on each of on this pole, everyone is at a different level. Everyone is at a different level. So everything in existence, the trees, everything is just vibrating at a certain frequency. All right. And remember, you want to understand what consciousness is. Consciousness is life, and life is consciousness. So when they're saying raise your consciousness, vibrational energy, come to the knowledge that you're more than this body, that you're more than this life. Understand life. That's right. So you go up on the totem pole, that source pole, you go up when you understand life. Consciousness is life, and life is consciousness. Where there is life, there's consciousness. There's an awareness of who you are, even if it's low vibrational. So if you have question about consciousness, what is this consciousness? Consciousness, it's just an awareness of who you are. And everything is conscious. Everything, everyone, everything is conscious. Light, sound, color, all physical phenomena, both living and inanimate. If so, So as it tells you, everything has a vibrational frequency of consciousness. And light, sound, color, all physical phenomena, both living and inanimate. If you can change the frequencies of vibration of any single thing, you can change the appearance of that thing, be it sound, color, gas, liquid, physical organs. And this is very important to know. Very important to know that if you can change the frequencies of vibration, the energy something is vibrating at, if you can change that, you can change the appearance of that thing. So the higher we vibrate, it seems as if we don't look like this anymore. Because and this is just knowledge that who we truly are, it's not this physical being. There's an aspect of us that's in the higher realms, and it doesn't look like this. So we shouldn't be identifying with this. This is just a low vibrational suit that we use for our earthly experience. So as this just tell you, the higher we vibrate, we can change, our appearance can change. Physical organs, yeah. The higher we vibrate. And it's just going to tell you how we can heal ourselves too. So that's the importance now. Everyone is telling you, raise your energy. Raise your energy. Your frequencies of vibration. Vibrate high. Vibrate high. Love everyone. Love everyone. Good energy. Stop talking about other people. Know that we all one. We all come from the same source. There's no bad. There's no good. There's no better than. There's no less than. We're all take our being from the same source. We're just vibrating at different energy. That's all. So, all right. I read this one more time. If you change the frequencies of vibration of any single thing, you change the appearance of that thing, be it sound, color, gas, liquid, or physical organs. When physical organs present an appearance of ill health, it is because the normal frequencies of vibration of that physical organ have been reduced, and the life within the organ has been depleted. Mm. Mm. Now we see how we get our disease, right? Now we see how we get our sick. Well, how
Yeah.
we get sick. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Mhm. The normal frequency of vibration of that physical or the organ have been reduced. And it tells us in chapter 5, there's two ways we get energy. These organs get energy two ways. They get energy from the food, and they get energy from tapping into our divinity, allow our higher self to work through us. So sometimes when we get this ill health, number one, can be the food. We're not getting enough energy from the food. And number two is that we don't have no knowledge of self. We don't have knowledge of self. We think this is it. We think Jesus is going to split the sky open and come down to help us. We don't love. We're not loving other people. We're divisive. We're not tapping into our divinity. We're not allowing our soul, who we truly are, the source, to lead and guide us. So if this message finds you out there, and we have a physical organ that is has ill health, we have to remember everything is energy, and your organs need energy. Your organ needs energy, and if it doesn't, it will start to die. Your body. So all that can easily taken care of by vibrating at a higher frequency. And when you vibrate at a higher frequency, you have knowledge of self. You don't look outside of you for anything. Stop blaming your husband, your children, your mother, your father. You start do the work on you. We do the work on us. Nobody's fault. It's our fault. No one is coming to help you. No one is coming to help you. Go within and allow your divine self to work through this dense ego. You're too much in your ego. You're not getting in enough energy. And let there be light. Let light come through and heal your body. Okay? Science presents the universe as being matter, possessing consciousness, but the truth is, the universe is consciousness, which has taken on the appearance of matter as a result of a descent into the lower frequencies of vibration of consciousness. This is the true reality of existence, nothing else. Nothing else. This is the true reality. This universe is not matter possessing consciousness. Universe is consciousness. It looks like matter because the frequency we're vibrating at. Happy New Year. Oh, it's 12:01. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
Welcome to 2025.
Welcome to
To
2025.
God be all the glory.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. But
yes.
yes. We're so thankful. We're grateful.
Amen.
Very,
Amen.
very, very
Mm.
grateful of everything that we um we're here to participate in all the good things that life has to offer. All the good things
Mm.
and
Amen.
everything that he allow us to do for ourselves, for our families, and the knowledge that's coming into us too, how we can heal ourselves and how we can be better human beings. So we're very grateful for everything that's coming into us at this time. And Happy New Year. Okay. All right. So science presents the universe as being matter possessing consciousness, but the truth is the universe is consciousness, which has taken on the appearance of matter as a result of a descent into the lower frequencies of vibrational consciousness. This is the true reality of existence, nothing else. So, yeah, matter is the universe is not matter, it is consciousness. We are not even matter, we are not physical. We're made up of small particles vibrating at a certain frequency. We look solid because um, we fell in lower consciousness. So we look solid. So, and this is what's going to happen to the earth because so many people are waking up. The earth is also going to get out of this low vibrational energy. It's going to start ascending. It also is going to start ascending because the earth doesn't need everyone to wake up on just enough. And as the Bible showed us with 5,000 men went to war, you needed only 500 to win the war. So it's the same thing. The Bible was just trying to tell us that um, only a percentage of us is needed to come into the knowledge of self, to understand who we are and to understand that we're not just this body. We're divine beings, we're infinite beings, we do not die. So, and when we come to this knowledge, everything around your eyes open to everything going on in this world. That's another thing why the vibrational energy is raising on this earth, because not just we come to the knowledge of who we are, we come to the knowledge of the things that goes on around us. And because remember I mentioned you can't understand that you're energy beings, and why are we paying for energy? Yeah, that was okay when I didn't understand who I am. And if I am the master of my universe, if I am creating my reality, why I need to vote for anyone to rule over me? If I have that divine spark in me, if I am infinite being, if who I really am is a divine being, there's no better than, there's no less than. I just because I didn't have knowledge of self, I wasn't able to tap into the divine reality to create my own reality. You know, that's what this. So when you hear us saying raise your consciousness, not only spiritually, you come to the knowledge of self, but everything around you. everything around you change. You understand that you stop blaming everybody else for your situation. You take responsibility of self. You take responsibility of self. So that's raising your consciousness. You're just aware of everything that's going on around you. You know that what's if you're projecting certain things on someone outside of you, it's something within you that you need to take care of. If you see me on the screen and you be like, I don't like that lady, it's not about me, it's a you problem. You're affecting your universe. You have to understand that when you talk about someone, you're talking about yourself. Your brain doesn't know you're talking about me. Your subconscious doesn't know you're talking about me. Everything you say, your body think it's talking about you, not anyone else, because it's your universe. It's your universe. So yes, so that's why it's important. It's important to raise your vibrational energy. And with everyone raising their energy and coming and seeing, oh, everything in this world is just an illusion. From your celebrities to everything, the food is contaminated to keep us in low vibrational. Women are suppressed. Oh, that's going to be another thing in 2025. The importance of the feminine energy has been suppressed. We have all of these men ruling. Why? Because we come to understand everything is in balance. You shouldn't have men just ruling and ruling. Everything has to be in balance. So and everything is alive. Earth is alive. The water, take care of everything. Everything has consciousness. And because everything, and a deeper understanding, because everything of consciousness, you can affect everything by your thoughts. By your thoughts, meaning if you want something, you can, by your consciousness, just thinking about it, you can have it. Because everything has a consciousness. It knows what you're thinking. It knows that you want that guy. It knows you want that job. It knows it knows your needs and wants before you even ask, as the scripture told us. So your existence is all a matter of frequencies, of vibrations. The higher the spiritual perceptions and the adherence to spiritual thought, the more swift are the personal vibrational frequencies in the body. The vitality is raised and illness eventually disappears. Okay, and we see how we can heal ourselves. We see how we can heal ourselves. So it's saying your existence is all a matter of frequencies of vibration. Your existence is all about how you're vibrating. How you're vibrating. The higher the spiritual perception, and I talked about perception earlier, and no longer when you think a thought, everything is, we're perceiving everything. Everything is perception. So, oh, the fireworks going off. So when your feet hurts, don't perceive it's something wrong. Don't have that perception in your mind. Don't have that perception that you're always gonna be poor, that your mother have cancer, you're gonna have cancer. You don't have those perceptions. Don't think about those thoughts. Anytime you feel that thought, you go and understand who you are. I am well. I am a divine being. I do not get sick. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am abundance.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, we have to change those thinking.
Yeah.
Whatever we were indoctrinated in this realm, like, no, I don't care what the doctor said. Whose report you gonna believe?
Amen.
Whose report? That's what the Bible tried to tell us. Your report. You understand who you are. You understand the source of your being, who it is. That's their report. That's the report you're going to believe. So even if you go and they be like, oh, you have CV. Oh, you have CV. No, you don't. Because you, who I am, can't get CV. You're a divine soul. Who I am is sickness, and you is health. Who I am is health. That's what the Bible tried to say. Whose report? You
Mm-hmm.
believe the report of the Lord, not the
Yes.
report of what they're
You're
saying.
some doctors.
Yeah, some doctors, because the doctor never gonna tell you. And don't get me wrong, if you have to go to the doctor, go to the doctor,
Please
do
go.
whatever. Yeah, you have to do, because they do help you, but we have to come to the knowledge, like, whose reports, whose report you're gonna believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. So the universe is conscious, which has taken on the appearance of matter as a result of the descent into lower frequencies. Appearance of matter. We are not matter, um, because of the vibration that this earth is in. And the higher we go, some people think that's why we're seeing stuff in the sky, because we're ascending. We are ascending, not physically, vibrationally. And this is a true reality of existence, nothing else. Your existence is all a matter of frequencies of vibration. The higher the spiritual perceptions and the adherence to spiritual thought, the more swift are the personal vibrational frequencies in the body. The vitality is raised and illness eventually disappears. Okay, let me put my feet up. So the scientific fraternity believes you live entirely within the human dimension, comprising the solar system and the galaxies of stars. Science believes the human intellect is the highest point of intelligent reference at any time, having evolved in response to changing environment and climatic conditions, and it's purely the product of brain activity. So this is what scientists believe, that the human intellect is the highest point of intelligence. And I know some people be like, I'm not believing it. If you can't prove it to me, show it to me, prove it. Is it whatever what they called it, peer reviewed? Is it peer reviewed? And so there's an aspect of the society who thinks everything is, that men have the answers to everything scientists does, and they don't believe that there's a spiritual reality because it can't be visible, seen, or proven. Well, it can be proven if you believe, but it has to have some form of quantity measuring, kind of thing for them to believe. And they believe that everything is a product of your brain activity. Listen, it's not the brain, it's the heart. The heart is everything. According to science, your emotions are wholly real and valid, and what you think and feel is beyond all dispute. These constitute the only reality of existence. Normalcy is computed according to the average thoughts, actions, and responses of the environment. This is perceived as the human reality. Any talents which transcend the average output of average minds is reckoned as being a genius. Oh, he's a genius. arising from unusual mental powers. The below average output is said to be due to retardation due to some physical cause, genetics, birth trauma, etc. Science believes the physical dimension is the beginning and the end of existence. I can't believe scientists believe that. Science is so set against any possibility of self delusionary beliefs that it will accept as being real any phenomenon provided it can be computed, estimated, and provided by instructions. And some people, this is what their belief is based on what scientists said about this, what scientists said about that. And forgetting that scientists is just as human as you are, and we have the same source living within us. If you want to understand everything, understand you. You're the book. Understand nature. Look at nature. Look at yourself. You know, if you think about this clearly, you will come to realize that what science holds fast to as fact is in reality only belief created by drawing conclusion through the exercise of their five senses. Five senses. Yeah. So if they can't perceive it with the five senses, it does not exist. It does not exist for these scientists. So, is it with every other facet of your existence? If your earthly dimension facts take place second by second, but the moment they have happened, they become memory beliefs, and memory are not always accurate. Let me read that again. So it is with every other facet of your existence. In your existence, in your reality dimension, facts takes place second by second, but the moment they have happened, they become memory beliefs, and memories are not always accurate. Whatever feeling and thoughts you have about the past are not facts, but points of view, beliefs, and are therefore not facts, nor the reality behind them. This applies to every facet of your existence. The truth is, you live in a worldly dimension composed entirely of your beliefs, arising from your responses to what happened 100,000 or 10,000 years ago. So it's talking about the religious beliefs, things we were taught, growing up. That's what shapes our reality, our beliefs. At one time, people believed the world was flat. Therefore, for them, they lived in a flat world and were afraid to sail the seas too far in one direction because they were in danger of falling off the edge of the world. For people of edge of the world, for the people a mere 400 years ago, their world was flat. Today, with knowledge, your world is accessible in every direction. And I still think they suppress that. Don't show us everything. They don't show us everything. People in the past and also in the present time directed their lives according to old wives' tales, the power of the ancestors, and the other legends. They believed in them so implicitly. The limitation imposed by these beliefs restricted people's actions and activities. Yeah, our beliefs. It's just explaining how our beliefs shape our reality. Take a second and see how our beliefs shape our reality. Dancing was believed to be sinful and wicked by certain Christian sects, for instance. Oh, yeah. Therefore, oh, where is it? Okay. Yeah. Dancing. Yeah. I didn't know dancing was believed to be sinful and wicked by certain Christians.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
love dancing.
Oh, but David, remember David dance?
Oh, David dance. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but some religion think it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. Therefore, many people who would have derived great happiness and release from stress when dancing were wrongfully denied this pleasure. Religion comes under the same heading. Beliefs are the very substance of religion. They are founded on age old happenings, which are nothing but belief. The beliefs may have been relevant in the general mindset of those times, but they have long since become irrelevant in a constantly changing world. Yet they are strictly adhered to and become the focus of worship, festivities, celebration, mourning, and more destructively, they become the reason for men killing one another and causing horrific misery to women and children. And that's one thing religion never look into. That a lot of these things, the Bible is probably old as dirt. And these a lot of things that was sacrilegious back then doesn't necessarily today, because they didn't have maybe the technology, maybe the understanding of what the world is about and everything. Today, those some of those things in the Bible were based on um what that society 3,000, 2,000 years ago, and we're still trying to use that same belief system today. Some things doesn't change, but we have to be understanding that not everything that happens in the Bible that is very old, very old. A lot of the things we don't even do today, the animals and that, you know, we don't even do that today. Sacrifices and all that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you believe our religion? People killing one another and causing horrific misery to women and
Mm-hmm.
children. Mm. Certain religions claim that God is everywhere and in all things, but also affirm dogmatically that no one knows the mind of God or the reasons why people kill one another. It may be in God's plan, they say. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Mm, 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 mm. Yeah. And it's God's plan that they should struggle and be sick. Oh my gosh. How can you think that? How can we think that? Huh? Mm. With mindset composed of a conglomeration of illogical beliefs, where can mankind at this present time find the certainty of beauty, joy, health, well being, love? Religious ideas present a God whose will can bring life and healing or death and destruction. In such beliefs, there is no certainty of anything other than uncertainty. And religion have to get God is this is no we have to understand who God we can't understand who God is, but You have to really have a concept. This death and all that in the Bible, I don't know. We have to know that's not our creator. No, it's God's will. God, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. No, no.
No, Job said it. God didn't.
Yeah, no.
Job said it. Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Yeah. With such a belief in sickness, abnormality can be excused as being God's will. It is your beliefs which control all your expectations of what life may hand out in the future. And yeah, our belief really, really shape our reality. Yeah, because it's what we were taught. It's what we have learned for so long. And we have to make sure every thoughts, every emotion should come from the fact that we are infinite beings, we are divine beings. Who we are, let our thoughts come from that place that who we are is not um is not who we are doesn't get sick. Um the trauma that we've been through and all that, it's just our ego. It's our ego. Our true self remained untouched. And will remain untouched through this experience. The goal is for us to learn from all these things that we've been through. That's the goal. Learn from these experiences and heal. Go inside and heal. Do the work on yourself. I look a lot. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, even from Jamaica, and people. You could see people, and that's just how we grew up. Or we value other people's opinion. We have to get out of that. No one knows you. It doesn't matter what no one think of you. It doesn't. It doesn't affect you unless you let it affect you. If we continue on that path of worrying about what other people think about us, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be left behind.
Mm-hmm.
You are, because you have to understand people's judgment is of themselves. So anyone judging, people they're talking about themselves. And you too, if you talk about other people, you're just talking about yourself. We have to understand how the universe works. Stop
Yeah.
worrying about what other people think about you.
Mm-hmm.
You're your own God. You're your own universe. You're the Jesus. You're the Christ. Do what's best. Do what Christ did when he was on earth. Go around spreading good news and go around
Mm-hmm.
healing and spreading love and togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
Too obsessed with what other people think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Healthy agnosticism, the kind of mindset which accepts it does. Oh, what am I reading? Healthy agnosticism, the kind of mindset which accepts it does not know the nature of God or whether there is any God at all, but it perfectly open to the conviction imparted by enlightenment, is preferably to fanatical beliefs in half truth or non truth. How blind is the human race generally? Oh, let me see what this is saying. Healthy agnosticism, the kind of mindset which accepts it does not know the nature of God, okay, or whether there is any God at all, but is perfectly open to the conviction imparted by enlightenment, is preferably to fanatical beliefs in half truth or non-truth. How blind is the human race generally? People are like moles living within their tunnels, convinced they are capable of sizing up the entirety of their existence by using their senses of hearing, smell, very limited vision, and touch. Yeah, yeah. We're like moles. We're in our little cocoon with our five senses, and we think that's there. That's all that exists. Nothing exists out of that little five sense, that little cocoon. There's not a bigger world out there. Okay. Thus, may you descend. I like when it says very limited vision, and I talk about that your eyes doesn't show you the entire picture of what the thing looks like. So when you're looking in the sky, you'll be like, "Oh, there's plasma," and we don't know what those things are because we don't have concept. We never have concept of what those things look like. We don't know what's going on up there. So, and those who knows not telling us the truth anyway. Thus, may you descend the scale of life forms and witness thousands of species living lives entirely defined and limited by their senses. What they can't perceive as real constitutes their personal reality, their particular world. Every strata of existence experienced by various species of living things is distinct from every other within the earthly dimension. This includes the human mind, which is literally possessed by religious doctrines and dogmas and imprisoned in scientific theories and mathematic formulas. Religious doctrines have been conceived by human reasoning in an effort to explain the teaching of spiritual masters whose minds have moved beyond the human sphere of intellect into the heavenly sphere of inspired perception of universal reality. So, Christ is just trying to help us understand that the human mind with the five senses is so limited. And with religion, we're trying to use the human mind um, to understand, as he says, the ascended masters like Jesus, like Buddha, like Muhammad. We can't understand those persons' mind. The Bible was right; they were um, and the verdict is out if they received their enlightenment here on earth or they just came into the knowledge of self, of their higher self. They allowed while they're on earth, they allowed their higher self to take full control. That's why Christ keeps saying that I do nothing without my Father. I do nothing without my Father. And he tells you if he only said Father because of the Jewish didn't believe in woman, but it's really Mother, the Holy Spirit. He says, I do nothing without my Father. That's what Christ was trying to tell us. So these ascended master, who didn't even allow the world to impress upon their psyche. The world didn't have any power over them, and we use religion. We're trying to understand what they taught. Let's use Christ. What Christ taught um by by perceiving only with our five senses what Christ was trying to say. I think someone pointed out today that Christ, that's most of his words were in parables. He taught in parables. He taught in parables because he was trying to break down this divine word into the way that we could understand it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, that's what he did. And never did he say we should worship him. He's our
No.
brother. He
Yeah.
knows he help, what Christ did was to help the raising of the consciousness on the earth. That's why they came, Buddha and Muhammad and all of them. So these religions that's based up of those men's teaching, these men are divine beings. They came in this world, and we think what they do was of no, they didn't like government, they didn't like churches, they didn't like anything of the sorts, anything outside of self. Nothing outside of self they didn't like. Okay. Imprisoned in scientific theories and mathematical formulas, religious doctrines have been conceived by human reasoning in an effort to explain teachings of spiritual masters whose minds have moved beyond the human. We can't even understand. We don't. Sphere of intellect into heavenly spheres of inspired perception of universal reality. These are where these men are right now. Scientific concepts are also the product of the human senses, rationalizing and giving names to phenomena viewed by human sight during experimentation. When, therefore, the human intellect is able to set aside such limited beliefs and ascend into contact with the reality beyond the highest human reasoning, logic, and rationalization, which are termed knowledge, such a mind enters the highest spheres of life consciousness. And everything too, another word, oh, it's not logical. It's not logical. Listen, spirituality can't be quantified. It's like that. It's not logical. It has to be logical. Mm, yeah. So it's saying human intellect should set aside these limited beliefs and ascend into contact with the reality, not this physical reality, the spiritual reality beyond the highest human reasoning, beyond the five senses, logic and rationalizations, which are termed knowledge. Such a mind enters the spheres of life consciousness. It is imbued with universal truth, which is literally beyond the scope of the normal human mind to perceive or accept or understand. The human mind cannot understand any experience beyond that of electromagnetic parameters of earthly existence and the function of the brain until divine consciousness, enlightenment enters the entire human system of mind, emotions, and subconscious, then the underlying unity and harmony is revealed. Yes, so we need that divine consciousness to come in and lead us and guide us, because without that we can't tap into, we have no knowledge of the spiritual realm, the spiritual reality. Mm-hmm. When another new spiritual perceptions, oh, what time is it? 12:39. Yeah. When altogether new spiritual perceptions are presented to a religiously indoctrinated mind, these are perceived as being from Satan. These are perceived to be from Satan. Let's read that again.
Here we go with the same.
With the Satan.
Your own thinking.
Your own thinking. So
Yeah.
when you tap into that divine consciousness and all that, the first thing, oh, it's the devil. It's the devil. Devil. When altogether new spiritual perceptions are presented to a religiously indoctrinated mind, these are perceived as being from Satan or sheer lunacy or imagination. This is natural since when the emotions are severely aroused and channeled and challenged, as happen when deep beliefs are contradicted, the magnetic emotional bond and rejection impulses of the ego drive immediately come into action. And you can see that this is the ego. The ego is always trying to protect what you believe. It doesn't try to change you. And this is why it was created. It doesn't try to change you. You know, if you're at work and if wherever and someone step on your toe, the biggest thing, your ego quick to defend you. It will never tell you to walk away. Oh, you step on my, that's how the ego is. It tried to defend instead of rationalization. And this, go ahead, sis.
Oh, no, I'm just agreeing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when you can walk away from a big confrontation, that's your higher self. When you can step back and be like, when you, or if you're in a conversation with someone about religion and universal consciousness, and this person can be like, I don't believe that's devil worship. And when you can hold your peace and let that person express themselves, oh my gosh, you're somewhere. You're somewhere. And that's what people who are religious have to understand. If you know what you know is all truth, is all good, you don't have to defend it. You don't have to be all in your emotions and all that. I listen to them debating on all the time. This source is. Oh, what I know God is all love. All love. It's nothing to defend. It just you can't even give it a name. You can't say you can't even as the Christ letter says, it just be there all good and all loving. It's like when your product is good, you're not out there trying to sell it and advertise. You just know, like, I have the best product. When they're ready, they can come and get it. That's what God is. That's what this universal consciousness is. It's just there. It's just good and love, everything good. All right. Yeah, so this is what the ego does when you're trying to challenge someone's belief. The ego is quick to like, no, it's the devil. No, no, that's devil talking. That's spirit. That's whatever. It's just the ego. So you have to be mindful that, you know, the ego is just trying to protect your beliefs. Yeah, the ego doesn't want change. Okay. Ego drive immediately come into action. Any thesis or proposal which cause the conditioned mind acute mental discomfort, dismay, or puzzlement will be rejected instantly. Okay. Happy New Year's. Okay. Any thesis or proposal which cause the conditioned mind acute mental discomfort, dismay, or puzzlement will be rejected instantly, and the whole barrage of proofs will be summoned from the beliefs in the conditioned mind to back up such rejection. But the proofs are merely beliefs. Yeah. and a whole barrage of proofs will be summoned from the beliefs of the conditioned mind to back up such rejection, but the proofs are merely beliefs. Yeah, it's just beliefs. It's just beliefs. But another thing, people complain about religion, and the Bible is a lie, and say religion is oppression, religion is whatever it is. But what we have to be careful, because yeah, if religion is that, and I did a video on religion. The thing about religion, it doesn't um help us to develop our divinity. It teaches us to be dependent on other people. Not that it's bad, but I like how religion introduces you to spirituality. The bad thing is some of us stay there, and we just stay there and we don't move, and we have to grow spiritually, but that's up to them. But don't criticize religion and God of the Bible, when even if religion is bad and the God of the Bible is bad. What is your experience? Your experience of God is whatever you read in the Bible. Even though you're saying it's bad, you don't have your own experience of who you think God is. So those are the some things. Sometimes I sit and listen. I'm like, who do you think God is? What is your experience of God? If you're going to tell Christians, like, listen, the God of wrath and all that, that's not the God I know. It's all love. That's my experience. Share your experience of God. You can't just be beaten on the Christian idea of God. Oh, the God say in the Bible that. No, you're not gonna. You have to give them your perspective of God. You know, who do you think God is, based on your consciousness, based on your awareness, hmm? Based on everything is energy. What is this God? You know. So yeah, there have to be two aspects of we can't be beating down the Christians thinking, oh, their belief is wrong, but you can't share an idea why their belief is wrong. Because your idea still is the idea of what you read in the Bible of who God is. Okay. This is an entirely okay. Yeah, this is an entirely natural mental emotional process within the purely human dimension. Therefore, if my truth is offered to those whose mindsets are firmly established and conditioned by fear, are strengthened by the human will to adhere to such programmed beliefs, it is only natural that the truth will arouse unruly emotions and be quite violently, possibly virulently rejected. Yeah, yeah. So we have to be careful. We can't just keep beating that nail, beating that nail. If I'm going to tell you about religion, I have to have knowledge about who I think God is. You know, let me tell you what this God is. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. The foregoing is a description of normal mental, emotional activity within the human dimension. It should not be criticized, since a conditioned mind is made to feel completely insecure and adrift or all at sea when confronted with an entirely new concept. These human idioms describe exactly what happens when an indoctrinated mind is challenged by an entirely new perception of what was previously held to be dear, so safe, so right. Okay. So when first reading these letters, you can determine yourself where you stand mentally and emotionally. Are you blocked from spiritual progress by your stubborn adherence to present beliefs? Are you able, after due thought, to realize that all you are so sturdily upholding is only belief, irrational belief? It is absolutely vital to your spiritual development that you should, at long last, fully understand the principles of your human mind and emotional functioning. You think you do, but you do not understand it at all. You can only understand it by coming out of it entirely, transcending it, moving into higher dimension of perception and experience, entering into truth itself. Only then do you begin to perceive, and you and every other person in the world have lived and directed your lives almost entirely by human beliefs, not truth. Yeah, it is so hard um to change other perspective about what we've been taught maybe
Yeah.
50 years, 70 years, They hold on, it's what bring them comfort. Because a lot of us we don't want to you know, you're gonna tell them that they have to do the work themselves, they have to pray for themselves, they have to heal themselves because a lot of people hasn't been healed and forgive and you know, but if you only knew what comes with that, you'll be willing to give up anything for that peace that pass it all understanding. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. What time is it?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna read a little bit more until 1 o'clock. We'll stop at just continue. Yeah. Therefore, there are many people who believe wholeheartedly that if they pray for a certain object or experience or the bestowal of the right guidance to a certain situation, they will truly receive the right object, experience, or guidance, which will enhance their well being. The belief that if their prayer is answered, they will wholeheartedly rejoice and immediately follow the lead, irrespective of present conditions, because coming from the divine, it can only be right answer, conducive to happiness. Yeah, yeah. And that's what we were taught. In spite of our beliefs, in spite of everything, that whatever we pray for, it's gonna come true. You know, that's what we were taught in religion. That yeah, we don't have to change our ways. We don't have to understand itself. We just pray, and and God will help us in spite of the consequences, in spite of our beliefs, irrespective, as they say, of the present condition, you know. And earlier, Christ taught us that even if you pray and you receive healing, if you pray and receive healing and you haven't changed your belief system, it's gonna come back because you have to change your total mindset about who you are for permanent healing, for total and completely healing.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we just pray irrespective of conditions. We just hope that things gonna happen. And many of us, um, we don't see that healing take place. We just have to change our mindset. We have to change our beliefs system.
Yeah.
However, when faced with the arrival of longed for object or experience or guidance, the recipient of divine grace sometimes becomes so disturbed and disoriented, unable to accept that there has been an intrusion of divine consciousness, exactly as asked for, that she does not know how to deal with it. If minds are so disturbed when what they have asked for is actually given them in an unexpected way, where is the true faith and belief which they were so certain they wholly possess in abundance? Do you not also see that belief, not truth, has orchestrated the whole symphonic movement, with the exception, of course, of the divine consciousness intervention, the answer to the prior? This intervention is the only reality to the old procedure. The rest is belief and hope, mental gymnastics using past experiences by which to measure the present. Your only truth is divine consciousness, which leads only to growth and perfection if you fully trust it to do so. If you fully trust it to do so. Just reading this, I just remind me of myself when I was in, just struggling and praying and struggling and praying, and nothing was coming through, nothing, no help, you know. The bills were piling up, everything, nothing was helping because I didn't have the mindset um, to tap into universal consciousness, divine consciousness. That who I am, that divine consciousness is is abundance. You know, we shouldn't be in any form of lack. Shouldn't be in any form of lack. You know, and he says belief is not truth. Belief is not truth. Do you not also see that belief, not truth, as orchestrated the whole symphonic movement, with the exception, of course, of the divine consciousness intervention, the answer to the prior? This intervention is the only reality in the whole procedure. The rest is belief and hope. Yeah. Mental gymnastics using past experience by which to measure the present. You know, your only truth is divine consciousness, which leads only to growth and perfection if you fully trust it to do so. Yeah. Pause here and read and reread the foregoing paragraph, because that because what goes on in your consciousness is the fabric of your experience and life. What goes on in your consciousness is the fabric of your experience and life. What your belief is, what you believe, and if it's not working, you need to change your beliefs. So question yourselves, do you really perceive, realize, understand the reality as being the source of all knowledge and creativity? Or do you merely pay lip service and superficial mental acknowledgement to divine consciousness? Yeah. Mm. Do you fully, completely live minute by minute in the realization that universal consciousness is the only reality and highest intelligence operational within creation? Mm? And within creation means within you. Huh? Do you fully, completely live minute by minute in the realization that universal consciousness is the only reality and highest intelligence operational within creation? Do you consistently depend on its supremely effective guidance, or do you think that you would rather live by your own finite will and sometimes muddled emotional impulses? Listen, this is what operates in us, universal reality. Our all knowing self operates within us. Let's seek guidance from that. This is what you call God. This is what you call Yahweh, Jehovah, whatever. The highest intelligence operates in all its creation. And we're creating our reality anyway. But we have to go within and allow this divine aspect of us to lead and guide. To lead and guide. Let it lead and guide. And if you are given direct guidance to follow a certain lead, but stop to think whether the guidance is leading you where you think you want to go, are you fully surrendered to the highest intelligent authority, divine consciousness? Is this not an indication your ego still is in control? And these are the checks that we have to check the ego sometime. Mm? Yeah, we have to stop and check if the ego is still in control. Even these letters, when circulated as intended, will come to be beliefs, not the pure spiritual perception of what is, out of which these words have come. Only by taking these words into meditation, after asking for spiritual illumination, will the spiritual reality behind the words eventually come like a shaft of light into the mind. When this happens, you will know that you know. Yeah. And this, I'm going to leave this here tonight as this is very deep. We have to continue.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have to continue to ask that divine intelligence, highest intelligence, authority, that divine consciousness for leading us and guiding us into all truth. Universal consciousness is the only reality. And we said consciousness is life, and life is consciousness. All right, everybody. It's after 1 o'clock. Yeah, that's what I thought I was gonna go. 103. Thank you for joining me, Father, Mother God, Universal Consciousness. Here we are. Father, I know you, Mother God, universal consciousness, divine consciousness. You transcend time and space, and we know we celebrate a new year, but on this in this physical realm. But we know it's in the real. If there's one to celebrate, is in the spring, which celebrates life. But we're still thankful for being able in as we recognize this calendar that we just thankful and grateful that we were able to make it through this here, this physical here, and we're thankful for whatever is ahead of us, and we're thankful for knowledge and understanding and direction and guide, and we're thankful for everything that is set forth for us in this reality, for us to have a beautiful, healthy life and to understand who we are. And as we try to raise our consciousness, frequency, vibration as we try to raise it into understanding who we are inside and the outer world at large. We just ask for your direction always and your guide. And we're so thankful for these Christ letters that's opened our eyes. We're thankful also for my sister who joined me tonight, Father. It's late, but she stood up. I pray that daily strength to strength shall grow stronger and stronger in you, in you. And Father, we thank you for the listeners and those who will be listening at a later time. We're thankful tonight that your will be done, and we just put everything in your hands, Father. Bless our homes, bless wherever we're staying tonight, our communities, our world at large. So many different energies. But Father, here we are in this little area right here, and I hope, Father, somehow we being here tonight can affect in some way, increasing the vibrational energy of this realm. Bless us always. Thank you. Thank you for what you have in store for us. And in this new year's, as our aim and determination is the more understanding self and to vibrate at a higher frequency. We thank you always. Bless us and keep us. We give you thanks. Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I see a comment, but I can't even read it.
Yes.
Let me see who it is. Can you read it, sis?
I'm not
Oh,
on.
you're not on.
Yeah,
Much
no.
gratitude for your oh, thank you. Tammy or Tommy, I'm not sure. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful New Year's. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, and blessings always. Thank you. Thank you. I have only my phone tonight, and I can. Okay, sis. Okay.
Yes, get some rest and
Yes. Yes, I sure will. I'll have to get up early tomorrow, so thank you.
oh, sleeping.
Yeah,
Yes.
sleeping,
Yeah.
sleeping. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. All right.
Okay, my dear, get some rest.
Yeah, be blessed. You too. You're up late. Be blessed.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Tony, okay. Much gratitude for your. Oh, thank you, Tony. Thanks.